it is time for the PPVG Game of the Year Awards in March 2017. So we're going to state our top 3 video games that was released in 2016. So my number 3 game is Uncharted 4. I really enjoyed the Uncharted series. Even though this is my second favorite Uncharted game, my favorite is number 2. But just number 4, using the PlayStation 4 power, and it's just a set movie. It is amazing. Just action piece after action piece after set piece up to the Uncharted 4. My one probably con about it is it was long. I believe it was longer out of the entire series. It was the longest game. Some parts I think they just added just to prolong the length of the game. But again, that was fine with me. More Uncharted was fine. And the epilogue. Again, if you played all 4, I loved the epilogue of how they ended. Like the last 10 minutes. Again, I won't spoil it. I know it was released last year and the majority of you have played it. But Uncharted 4, again, they keep increasing the shooting mechanics because you can tell of how it's improved since the first game.
Yeah.
And Mo, I know you just started playing the Uncharted series.
Well, yeah, but I finished all 4 games. And you know what's crazy is I actually went from 1 to 4, like just straight.
You get the collection, right?
Yeah, the collection. I just went straight for it. And then it's funny going from like number 1 to number 4 and how they shoot mechanics. And number 1, I would shoot them in the face like 25 fucking times. And that guy was
Takes
like
a lot of bullets.
That guy was like fucking Team 1000 from fucking Terminator. He just wouldn't fucking die. So they're like pumping a whole shotgun shell into them. They're still not dying. It's just intense. But number 4 was the shooting mechanics were just on point. It was dead on. You know, I loved it. I love number 4.
So that's my number 3 game. And Rich, what's your number 3 game of 2016?
I'm gonna skew because this is mine.
This is yours.
Mine is viewed a different way.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be the most innovative game. Has to be the ones that kind of mean the most to me. Sometimes it's they listen to their community. Sometimes it's I love the IP. It doesn't have to be opinion. It's not
this is yours.
the end all be all. So I'm gonna go with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes because I play it every single day.
Yes, he does.
Yes. So I actually like it because it launched technically 2015.
Cheater.
It's been active and they update it constantly, including the last 2 weeks. They have made numerous adjustments to the system. They've added new play styles. The community has expanded, but the biggest thing is when they've had some serious setbacks. Middle of last year, community reached out. Within a month, we had major changes to the whole thing. Considering some of the stuff that's going on, like with Kabam and Marvel's Contest of Champions right now, where people are boycotting the game after 2 years of it being one of the number 1 revenue centers on Android and Apple stores. To hear them listen to the community, make changes, have outreach, that's exactly what I want from a developer, is a give and take. Because we care about Star Wars as an IP, and we care about the game because they're asking us to devote time, and many of us devoting a lot of money. So I actually respect that they listened and they made those changes. So number 3 for me.
My number 3 was a tie. And unfortunately to say,
Bunch of cheaters.
It's not a cheater because I couldn't. I played both games and they both had a interesting storyline. One was more complex than the other. But my tie was Dark Souls 3 and Odin Sphere. Now a lot of people don't know about Odin Sphere, but that was a action RPG that was released first on, I believe it was PlayStation 2, and they re-released it with fixing the core title because there was a lot of problems. Like that game didn't work; it was a broken game, so nobody played it and nobody finished it. There a few people did, but back in PlayStation 2, it was a broken game. Like it's just slowdowns and frame rate drops all over the goddamn place. So this re-release, just it made it amazing. It's an amazing game. So it was between those two. Dark Souls is heavy. For me, I love Dark Souls. I love the series.
How many times did you die?
1 million.
I heard it's like one of the hardest games ever.
I think there's harder games out there than Dark Souls.
Battletoads.
Battletoads.
That's
Please make Battletoads for Xbox.
I'm gonna say that every episode.
Yes. I need Mo and get an Xbox.
But that was my tie. I mean, a lot of people may not agree with it, but
This is your list. Who cares what other people think? This is your list.
Yeah. Dark Souls 3, for me it was the way that they just incorporated more of the system. They changed the whole fighting. They changed a few of the fighting mechanics on it that made sense to me, and it just kept building on that fighting mechanic. And then for Odin Sphere, it was the single player. It's only a single player game, so the storyline was pretty amazing, and I like the switching of the characters, which that's all I'm gonna say.
All right. So my number 2 is Titanfall 2. So I played all the main first-person shooters. I beat Doom, beat Battlefield 1, beat Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, beat Titanfall 2. My favorite out of them all, Doom was close. Doom was my probably surprise of 2016. If we were to do a surprise, I love Doom. The reboot that they did, that'll be my surprise. But my favorite, for some reason, how I was playing Titanfall 2, I just loved it more than the other first-person shooters. There's one level. You played Titanfall 2, right?
Yeah, I finished the whole thing.
The time warp level.
Oh, that was a great mechanic in the game.
That was probably one of my favorite levels.
They only did that one level too,
Of the
so
year.
it wasn't overused.
It was
or
that one
abused,
level.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Of how you're hopping on one side, then you have to go to the other time frame to hop to the left and keep going left to the right just to get past this area. And with the enemies getting past. And my number 1 game, which I'll get to later, also has a time warp level. As a hint, you can probably guess what game that will be. But Titanfall 2, the first-person shooter, just sad to say, out of all 4 of those games, that probably sold the least out of them all. Again, we can have a debate of why it sold the least. And more than likely, because of it, we won't get Titanfall 3. But I love Titanfall 2. And one thing is, I do not play multiplayer. So I'm just talking about the single-player campaign. I never played multiplayer for... I've always played a few matches. I get it, play a few matches, then I'm done. But Titanfall 2, I thought, was an incredible single-player experience. And getting that relationship with my mech, and again, just how they incorporated the mech into the single-player, that was my concern. And I think it was smooth. It wasn't too much mech. It wasn't too much on my feet. It was well-balanced.
It's well-balanced.
And it was well-balanced, as in I didn't feel too overpowered as well. When I was in the mech, it wasn't I just didn't destroy everyone. You're fighting other people in mechs.
Yeah.
But I thought that was an incredible experience, and I true hope someday Titanfall 3 is made. So that's my number 2 game. And Rich?
I'm going to go with Batman Arkham VR.
Oh.
Ooh.
My number 2, because I'm a
nice.
huge Batman fan just in general.
Surprise.
Wow.
And a huge fan of the Arkham series, and I'll be honest, I gave you a lot of crap when you were going to buy the VR. And
As you notice, he gives me a lot of crap for things
I give
that
everybody
buy.
a lot of crap, like I said. Admitted asshole, but I have good intentions. That one was a proof of concept for me. Sold me, gave me what I wanted as someone who has been playing Arkham since the very beginning. I pre-ordered the first Arkham Asylum game. Every single one after that. I actually bought Arkham Asylum twice because if you remember when it first came out on PS3, there was the specific Joker challenge maps that were only available on the PS3. So I pre-ordered it there even though I'm more of an Xbox guy, and then eventually got Game of the Year so I could go back through and play all the other stuff on Xbox. But no, completely sold me on that world, on the technology. It was long enough that I felt that it was a valid use of my time and of the money that you were good enough to spend to buy the thing. But
500.
but no, I will say that game. This is why it's on the list, is because it convinced me that my next major purchase is going to be a PS4, a VR headset, and Arkham VR. And I've already pretty much finished the game, pretty close. We got 3/4 of the way through before I got nauseous, but
with the Riddlers, you've...
and there's all kinds
of
of other
fun.
stuff you can do. I completely sold
all the
me
other
on that
Easter
whole thing.
eggs that I learned from you playing.
Part of that's because I knew that, but they did it in new ways even for me as an experienced Arkham player. So that's why it's up there.
Well, I loved Batman Arkham. The reason why I didn't put it just for how short it was, but again, I shouldn't base a game for how short, again, if it's an incredible 90-minute experience,
Yeah, it's how
and
much you
it
love
is
it.
incredible. Again, I'm a huge believer in VR, and I'll sell it to anyone. But VR, I like that choice. Batman VR.
Yeah, it took me. That was pretty interesting.
Like I said, asshole, but good intention. That's going to be my tagline.
My second one would be Uncharted 4. I mean,
And I predicted we would have
similar.
similar.
Yeah, it would be similar. It's just that storyline, just man, from start to finish, it was just great all around,
nonstop.
nonstop. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, but I liked it.
So do you think there'll be an Uncharted 5? And no spoilers.
I don't want to say I don't want to call it like an Uncharted 5. I would think they would go in a new direction.
Yeah, because we have the DLC with the Lost Legacy.
Yeah, Lost Legacy.
That would
Is
be
that
out
out
this
yet,
year.
or is that coming?
Not yet. It's coming.
No, not yet.
Not
yeah,
yet.
and that's with Chloe, which she's already sexy as fuck. So
You like your Chloe?
I do love my Chloe. Chloe.
So you have a box of tissues while you play Uncharted?
We'll see.
It looked beautiful
Yeah, it looked good.
on the PS4. Looked amazing.
Yeah.
My number one game, my game of the year for 2016, Dishonored 2.
Oh wow.
I really enjoyed Dishonored. The first Dishonored was a surprise hit.
Yeah, you actually convinced me to buy it.
Was a surprise hit, and I'm not into stealth games. I do not like stealth games. I'm a more of a run and shoot, go in, spray and pray, shoot around.
Isn't that what you do already? You do that all the time.
Thank you. Thank you. That's why me and Mo are friends.
Hey, I'm not a daddy yet. I'm not a daddy yet.
When you do it, you're not going to be.
You gotta aim, bro.
Dude, close my eyes, spray and pray.
He's got them armpit babies.
But Dishonored 2, again, I'm not into stealth, but you give me superpowers, I'm going to have a great time. Again, if you can do stealth if you want, you can beat the game without killing anyone if you want to go that route, but I try and kill everyone in the game just using my powers in it. You get to choose between two characters, and that game probably had one of the best levels I've ever played, was the time warp. Towards the end, they had it's a large house mansion area where it's in the present time and there's enemies, and then you have to go to the past where before the mansion is a wreck, because in the present it's all grass, it's all old and destroyed, and in the present it goes where it's fresh, brand new, all the enemies, and going back and forth in this entire mansion to get through the entire level was an incredible gaming experience. I guess that's the way to my heart, is time warps. Titanfall 2, that level was amazing. Same thing with Dishonored 2.
No, Rocky Horror Picture Show. That just made like a lot of sense to me right
Well,
now.
I was gonna say that, like, Steve, if time warps is the way to your heart, if you put enough whiskey in your drink, it's a thing called blacking out. That's like time warping all together.
You get drunk enough, I even get hair. That's
That is my game of the year, Dishonored 2. And Rich, what is your game of the year for 2016?
Okay, much like kind of the through line I've had on my number 3 and number 2, I'm going to go with Watch Dogs 2. I think that they took everything that was good about Watch Dogs 1, improved upon it, listened to a lot of complaints about the first one, which many of them were warranted, and I think they went in the right direction. I think that overall, Ubisoft listened to the fact of we're getting burnt out on the yearly entries of Assassin's Creed. They rested that. This was kind of their Assassin's Creed of the year, and it was fresh because it was a modern time frame. There was none of the mechanics of you're stuck in the Animus. I know that's probably crossover sacrilege that they're not all joined, or maybe you all believe in that whole. I don't care. They did things the way that they should. I respect people that listen to the people that are good enough to invest in them, and they invested back in what we wanted. So I think it's a give and take.
There's a lot of fun missions in Watch Dogs too. I didn't finish it. I'm
not there yet either, but I'm ready.
I've been progressing through it, but there's a lot of different like missions. The side missions didn't feel repetitive. They didn't feel like it was the same thing that you were doing in the first Watch Dogs. A lot of games suffer from the repetitiveness, I think. And Watch Dogs 2 implemented that like good.
It's kind of what happened with the original Watch Dogs.
Yeah, it was just like a lot of
and with the original Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed 2, yeah. Yeah, I love Watch Dogs too. It's a great game overall. I'm glad I got it. So
Well, and I like that they kind of took a little bit of the Rockstar
yeah, the
band
approach.
to try to
Yeah.
make fun of some of the things that are going on in Silicon Valley too. You know, take some of the piss out of people. So I like that.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, they did a few
That's an English
slams.
term.
Did a few slams on certain people, but it was good.
And Mo, what is your game of the year?
For me, it would be Battlefield 1. Just
I figured that.
it's gonna be my overall. Just the multiplayer, the storyline, the single player. Was captivating to me. I thought it was an interesting approach.
Yes.
They did change it. I like the way that you play different soldiers and the warring nations and what's going on and what their point of view would have been on the specific the whole switching of the different.
As we're watching my dogs do a takedown and walk away.
Caught me off guard. Caught me off guard. But I feel that they did great. And then the multiplayer online, the 32 versus 32, always has something that just blows me away. Just it's just crazy. You never. No matter what map you play on, there's something that you're going to see that you've never seen before. That's the way I feel. Like, I have a new experience all the time I jump in multiplayer, so...
Even though I chose Titanfall 2 over the 4 main first-person shooters, I think all 4 did an incredible job. Like, Doom with the reboot.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Again, Call of Duty was getting stale, but I actually really liked what they did with this single-player campaign of how they changed it up. Battlefield 1, the storyline... how his specific stories, a few missions, I thought was creative. And then, Titanfall 2 going with the single player campaign they didn't have in the first game. So it was a great year for first person shooters. I can understand why you chose Battlefield 1.
So Call of Duty you didn't feel was repetitive?
I did not.
As you couldn't finish that level and you had to restart?
Fuck Call of Duty.
Damn glitches. Damn glitches.
No, I would have probably chosen Titanfall 2 as well. I do play a lot of Titanfall 2. I thought the story was great too. I like the implementation. Great balanced work on going on foot and going into the mech, and then I like how the boss battles those were intense.
Yes.
I like that a lot actually, and it got you ready for multiplayer too because you're using all these different mechs, whatever. But it was good. It was a great game.
So those are our top 3 games of 2016. But what's the one game that you didn't get a chance to play that might have been in that top 3? Mine is actually Watch Dogs 2. I bought it day 1. I played it for about 2 hours, but then in the holidays, time happens. Didn't have time to play it. I still plan to play it this summer to beat it because I do want to play it. Because I do feel if I were to play it all the way through, that would probably be in my top 3. Because I actually enjoyed the first Watch Dogs. I can understand the criticisms of the first Watch Dogs game. But again, the same with Assassin's Creed. The first original, I bought it. I understand the criticisms, but it was a foundation of what's to come. I think Watch Dogs, they built on that, and that's why I really want to play Watch Dogs 2 after all these open world fucking games that are coming out. Take 40 to 50 hours of my life. After that, once the dust clears this summer, before Shadow of War, Watch Dogs 2 is on the list to complete. So that's the one game I wish I was able to play through, but unfortunately didn't have time. Rich, what's one game that you didn't
guys
get a
already
chance
said
to
it, Uncharted. Because I'm a
Uncharted?
story guy. I played the first 2. I didn't get to play the third one yet. So I certainly haven't gotten to the fourth one, but yeah. Easy
Uncharted
pick
4.
on my list, yep.
And Mo?
For me, would be The Last Guardian.
Why is that?
I played Shadow of the Colossus, and I played what was the other game?
Ico.
Ico. I played both, and I love those games. It was a great puzzle plus, I don't know if you could consider it action a little bit.
Kind of.
Yeah. It was like a cross, but I wanted to play it. Like the damn games all came out like between that last stretch. It went into September, and I was like, damn it! But Battlefield and then Titanfall 2 was coming out, and then things just kept popping up for the holidays, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to get this game just yet. I'm hoping to buy it when it goes on sale, and that's unfortunate to say, but I just don't have enough time. So many games coming up, and it just slipped my calendar.
It is on my list. And yes, I do have an actual list of games.
And Scalebound was never on that list.
It was on the list.
It wasn't on
My fiance
anybody's
makes
list.
fun of me every time I update my list of new games, I release dates, my Excel sheets. I have an Excel sheet of all the games I want to buy.
Have you started a Kickstarter yet, or a Patreon account for Scalebound to maybe go back into the development?
I want to ride my dragon.
I'm not going to make that joke.
Well, you'll be able to do that on Shadow of War, kind of, sort of.
The Drake, there we go.
There you go, the
Who
Drake.
needs Scalebound when I have Shadow of War?
Let's go.
Exactly.
We're moving on.
Exactly.
Fuck
We're moving
Scalebound.
on.
Yeah, fuck Scalebound.
Fuck Destiny.
Fuck
Fuck Call
Destiny.
of Duty.
Fuck Call of Duty, yeah, shit.
All right, so those are our top 3 games of 2016. Please add in the comments below what your top 3 games, and if there's any game that you want to fuck. Yeah. So we
Makes
got
sense.
Call of Duty, Destiny, any other
Scalebound.
games, Scalebound.
Nobody wanted Scalebound.